to everybody. I'm glad to see many people today. I'm Carlo Michellini, the owner of Simel Aesthetics, and I'm here today to introduce our star product, Biorepeel. As the introduction said, Biorepeel can be defined as a peeling because it contains TCA and other acids inside. But it's not a simple peeling, so the main difference between our product and the others on the market is that our product is a complete biostimulating and revitalizing peeling treatment with peeling effect. So this is important to keep in mind, and we will see later in details why. Generally speaking, Biorepeel, it's a topical product, class 1 medical device, and the formulation is patented. As you can see, the product is biphasic. It means that we have a lipophilic phase, the blue one, floating on a yellow hydrophilic phase. This is particularly important because this patent allows us to stabilize our product. So we create a barrier that separates oxygen inside the bottles from the active principle contained in the yellow phase. This is particularly important because the TCA, but not only, the other active principle are sensitive to oxidation. So creating this mechanical barrier, we separate from an oxidating agent like the atmospheric air contained in the bottle, and we improve the preservation of the product. So the product is stable at room temperature, which means academic room temperature of 20 degrees. And it does not oxidize, it does not get dark. So the first and main action is stabilizing action. The nature of the lipophilic phase allows us to improve the delivery of active principle with direct biostimulating activity like vitamins, amino acids that we will see later. It is also important to regenerate the hydrolipidic microfilm, cutaneous hydrolipidic microfilm, so that after the treatment, even if the percentage of acid is pretty high, you will feel that your skin is very smooth, moisturized. Sometimes the customer does not even require for a post-treatment care, so you have a good moisturizing effect on the skin thanks to the lipophilic phase. And it's hydrating, of course. Why? The yellow phase contains all the active principles, so we have biostimulating raw material, revitalizing raw material, keratolytic and peeling raw material, which are the main components of the product, because it still can still be defined as a peeling, generally speaking. So, just to summarize the importance of this biphasic technology of our patent. The lipophilic phase floats on hydrophilic phase, creating a mechanical barrier who separates oxygen from active ingredients. This barrier stabilizes the formulation, which does not oxidize, does not get dark. You should mix the product before every usage, but before the difference in the density, the two phases will separate again, and they guarantee the protection for a long time. Here is just a summary of the advantages of our formulation. So I just said it, but I want to repeat because it's pretty important. The TCA does not oxidize, and it's particularly. I want to focus particularly on this because the product will never change the color, will never lose efficacy. So we have 4 functional complexes in our formulation, from which the name derived. So biostimulating complex, revitalizing complex, and of course peeling complex. Now we have the lipophilic phase, which I hinted at before, which is made of squalane and isopropylmyristate, which have this hydrating activity and carrier activity to deliver the active principle deeply in the skin. Starting from the biostimulating complex, we find glycine, chlorine, hydroxyproline, and vitamin C. The 3 amino acids are the most common components in the collagen and have a collagen booster effect on the skin, while vitamin C is a cofactor for collagen synthesis. Then the revitalizing complex, starting from GABA, which is a natural amino acid, a natural neurotransmitter. It has a topic action on fine lines with a sort of Botox-like effect. Of course, it's not a Botox, but it allows us to have an immediate result. So after the application of Biorepeel, you will see immediately a smoothening in the skin, which lasts for a few days, and that's mainly due to the GABA. We find arginine, which is a basic amino acid, and it's important because it modulates the powerful acidity of TCA. If you have experience of TCA, you know that applying pure TCA in the concentration that we will see later on the skin will cause frosting, so will destroy completely the superficial layer of the skin. And okay, it's something that you may want to achieve, but it's pretty hard treatment. Many customers does not tolerate because they are obliged to stay home for at least 2 weeks. So it's a very strong treatment. With arginine, we modulate the acidity of TCA. It means that we have the handling and usability of the superficial peeling, but the result of a deep peeling. So after Biorepeel, you will have a mild exfoliation, but you are not obliged to stay home because the exfoliation will occur after 3-4 days. You can treat it with a moisturizing cream, and the patient will be absolutely fine to do their life. So they can go to work, they can go out, then they can apply Biorepeel the day before an important event. I don't know, like a wedding, like a photo shooting. This is something that I refer to the photo shooting because in Russia we have a lot of, and in the US as well, we have a lot of models from Victoria's Secret, for example, that use Biorepeel the day before the event, and they advertise Biorepeel the day before the event, so we are pretty proud of it. Then we have riboflavin, which is a very strong antioxidant, and it's vitamin B2, and it is the active principle that gives the Biorepeel the typical yellow color. And we introduced this because of the extremely powerful antioxidant action. And then we find the peeling complex. So starting from TCA, here is a summary of how TCA works. So when you apply an acid on the skin, you cause a damage. The skin reacts, activates the skin stress response system, and you have a proliferation of growth factor of a cellular proliferation. So it's an indirect mechanism of biostimulation. The difference between Biorepeel and all the other peeling on the market is that we have, of course, the indirect biostimulation thanks to the acids, but with the peeling effect, we manage to deliver, and the lipophilic base, we manage to deliver deeply in the skin all the other active principles that you saw. So the vitamins, the amino acids, and it allows us to achieve a direct biostimulating activity. So we have these two mechanisms working together to improve the overall effect of our product. Then we have other acids that complete the formulation. Lactobionic acid, which is the substrate for glycosaminoglycan synthesis. We have salicylic acid, which improves the keratolytic effect of TCA with a different mechanism of action, and it's also important for the acne treatment. So it helps us to have a bacteriostatic effect and to treat effectively the acne. Tartaric acid and citric acid, still other two alpha-hydroxy acid, they have a keratolytic effect with another mechanism of action. So I don't want to go too deep in details, but maybe you can ask me later if you are curious to know about. Anyway, the effect is more or less the same. The action that they do is a little bit different. So we introduced this complete pool of acids to have the best keratolytic effect possible and to achieve a good delivery of raw material through the gap junction that we open in the skin while applying all these acids. So we have two formats of Biorepeel, one for face, neck and décolleté, which is Biorepeel FND. It contains the 35% of TCA and all the other acids that and all the other active ingredients that we speak about. We will have a demonstration in a few minutes to show you how to use it. But the general protocol is 3 for application every 7 to 12 days. That's of course a general rule. Then it depends on the type of skin of your client. It depends on which results you want to do or which disease you are going to treat. So this is just a general rule, and we can go deeply in the protocol later. Then we have the body format. The face format is 5 vial, 6 ml each. So just to give an idea, with a full box you can do 15-18 treatment for the face. Of course, the number of treatments will change if you treat, I don't know, face, neck and décolleté all in one session. Then we have Biorepeel body, which is 3 vials, 12 ml each. Here the concentration of TCA is pretty higher, 50%, and the pH of the formulation is lower because to treat the skin in the body area, we wanted to have a much stronger product. So the difference between face product and body product are these two, the concentration of TCA and the pH of the formulation. Here the usual treatment is still 3 for treatment with many options depending on what we want to do. And usually we advise to wait at least 10-15 days between one session and the other. So how to use it, we will see briefly. As I mentioned, the product is a bifásico, so you have to shake strongly every time before using. Then you pilate with the syringe, you remove the needle and apply on the zone, massage with the needle gloves and until the product gets absorbed. And the product will separate again to guarantee the protection. So consider that once you open the vial, you have 20-30 days to finish it. After the downtime, the product can be removed simply with a wipe soaked in water. So just with water. You don't need to neutralize because the product is self-modulated. So you can just remove with water and the patient will be fine. Biorepeel can be combined with almost all the procedure in the aesthetic medicine. So it can be combined with injectable treatment, both fillers and biostimulation. Usually it is used before the injection, and it's useful because, especially for the biostimulation, you usually have to wait some weeks to see a result, while combining with Biorepeel will allow your client to see a result immediately and to have the maximum effect after 1 month, more or less. It can be used before Botox as well. We advise before and absolutely not after, for at least 2-3 weeks after the Botox application. It can be done before the photostimulation. It can be done after radiofrequency. I see the jet peel technology from Sera Group, so it can be used before the jet peel technology. It will improve the penetration of the product that you want to manipulate. So it can be combined more or less with all the procedure in this field, and that's particularly important because you know that now the combined protocols are much more effective than using, I don't know, just an injection or just a peeling or just a machine. So if you manage to combine more treatment, you have at least for what is our experience, you will have much better results. And we are pretty proud of it because you can combine Biorepeel with almost all the procedure. So just to summarize a little bit the main features of Biorepeel, it's a biostimulating and revitalizing treatment without needle for the clients who are afraid of needles. It's pain-free, So when you apply, you just feel some tingling sensation on the skin, like insect working on the skin, but absolutely no pain. It's pretty quick to be done because in 10-15 minutes you do the full procedure. Multifunctional because we will see later in the picture, you can treat acne, you can treat scars, you can treat, I don't know, pigmentation, stretch marks, just the ordinary bluish skin if you want to do a refreshing of the skin. So you have the possibility to act on several disease and different type of client. Yet it has an immediate result. Of course, the best result would be achieved after a full session of 3-4 application, but from the first session you will have a visible result, and this is important because it will encourage the customer to come back to your studio and to keep on the protocol. We don't have any scars after the treatment, just a mild exfoliation for 2-3 days after more or less 4 days from the application. Can be used on the whole body because we saw that we have 2 different products for the whole body. Can be done for all the ages, on every skin phototype, and in every season because the product is not photosensibilizing. So here in Peru we don't have a huge difference between summer and winter like we have in Europe, but you have a strong sun. So after the application we recommend the application of an SPF cream, so sun protecting factor 50, of course, for at least 5-6 days after the application. It's important that you protect your skin in order not to have a rebounding effect, but from a safety point of view, the product is absolutely safe and you don't have photosensibilization. Here we have some examples coming from all around the world. Sometimes some doctors share them with us on our social media page that I really encourage you to visit because you may find a lot of treatment coming from all over the world, a lot of feedback, so I think it's important. We are at CIMAD Aesthetics, but you can find hashtag Biorepeel CL3 on Instagram and you will find hundreds of results updated every day. Not from us, but from our clients worldwide. So this is the first result. It's general rejuvenation on a young woman, just 2 sessions of Biorepeel. Here we have fine line on the neck, you see. This woman is a little bit more âgée, but with 4 sessions we managed to have a good result. This is the effect I was speaking before. Of course, it's not a Botox, so I cannot sell like it would be a Botox, but the results are pretty good. Acne, you can deal with active acne or post-acne scars. It has a good efficacy. For the acne, it's very important to clean the zone before and after the usage in order not to worsen the situation. So usually when you have an acne protocol, you clean the zone like in all the other procedure, and you disinfect the zone carefully before and after the removal of Biorepeel. Here we have melasma. So for melasma, there is a lot to speak about because if the spot is very superficial, the face treatment alone would be enough. Sometimes you have localized melasma which are a little bit deeper in the skin, and in that case we advise the combination with the body product. So you do a first pass massage of Biorepeel FND, you remove it, and then with a needle you apply selectively a few drops of the product on the melasma, because you want to have a deeper action and you want to go a little bit, deep. Usually the skin on the melasma is pretty strong, so you don't have a frosting effect in that zone. Anyway, in case you have, it's exactly what we want to achieve. We want to go deep and we want to remove mechanically the spot. In this case, it was not used because the melasma was spread, all over the face, and it was quite superficial. So just the FND application was enough. 4th session, and we got the result. Then we have Biorepeel body. Biorepeel body can be used everywhere on the body, so hands, glutes, knees, elbows, feet, wherever you need. This is only 1 session application for a woman working in a pub, so hands are her tools of work, are very important for her, and she do a refresh of Biorepeel 4 or 5 times every year. Here we have stretch mark application, the detail of stretch mark. In this case, the sessions were full. Here was used the body, so there is FND, but it was mistake, body product. On the stretch mark, you need to make a combined treatment, so either ultrasound or any other kind of machine. In this case, there was used the protocol with microneedling. So you can combine Biorepeel with microneedling. You apply the first passage of Biorepeel. You leave on for 5 minutes. Then you do the microneedling in the interest zone with a depth that vary depending on the kind of stretch mark. Usually it's 2 to 3 millimeters at least. After the needling, you apply Biorepeel again, another layer. You leave on for 5-10 minutes, and then you remove with water. So we managed to achieve pretty good results. Armpit, in this case is a darkened armpit coming from Myanmar. It's the same protocol that we are going to do live in a few minutes. And the feet from UK. So here it was in UK. We have a lot of clients because not only aesthetic doctors are allowed to use, so salon, spa, they are authorized as well, and it's not very usual. But after we received this picture, many doctors in UK start using like that, and the results are pretty good. So I wanted to show you, just to give another option how to use the product. So when I say it's multifunctional, this is what I mean. You see very different problem one from the other, but with Biorepeel and maybe with the combination of Biorepeel and other technology, we managed to have amazing result every time. So the presentation is over. Now Mimi is going to do the live session, and if you have any questions, we will have some downtime while the product, after the product is applied. So I'm here to answer all the questions. Yep.
Preparation process was weeks before the application.
So repeat, weeks before.
Does the patient needs a preparation for the skin weeks before?
Not weeks before. Usually the skin is prepared before the application. So as a cement, we have developed a forever pre-treatment kit, which is a 2-step specific preparation for Biorepeel and for all the other procedures in aesthetic medicine. But you see Mimi is doing now the cleansing of the skin. You can use alcohol, you can use makeup remover, so it's important to degrease the skin to improve the efficacy of the product. And this is the only preparation required. You can do, on a very resistant skin, you can do a pre-peeling with a 2% solution of salicylic acid if you want to improve it. But usually a degreasing is more than enough. Regarding the preparation, you don't have any other point to care about. Just if you are going to treat the acne and the customer is using Roacutan, you just need to make sure that they stop Roacutan 1 month before if it is topic, 2 months before if it is pills. Because the Roacutan and Biorepeel, not only Biorepeel with other products as well, are a little bit in conflict. So that's the only, from my experience, the only things to be focused about.
I was asking because probably using electric acetic acid above 20% may get an adverse effect like melasma as a rebounding effect.
Rebounding effect. It may happen, but it's pretty common with the pure TCA. In this case, I hope you will have the possibility to try the product. You will see that you won't have, even if the percentage is high, you won't have the classical frosting and browning the following day with the skin going away completely in 1 day. So it's not a resurfacing. Biorepeel is modulated, so the denaturating effect on the protein is preserved because the denaturating effect is due to the CL3. I show you one thing. Okay, that's the chloroacetic acid. Okay, I come from Tuscany in Italy. Our land is very famous for the leather jacket, leather bag. The leather after the animal is dead is treated with denaturating raw material. But treated, it means that you need to change a little bit the surface, but you cannot destroy the raw material, the inside raw material. So TCA is one of the many products used to treat the skins, the natural skins of the animal, and it is used modulated TCA. It means the salt form of TCA, because the active portion of the molecule is the CCl3 apart. So with Biorepeel, we want to do a little bit the same. So we modulate the acidic power, which is the other on the right. We modulate the acidic power with a base, acid and base, okay, modulation. But the high concentration allow us to have a deep action on the skin. So I don't know if you understand the concept. It's completely different from the resurfacing. I don't know which product you have here of pure TCA, but it's one word and another. So the resurfacing, it's destroying everything. It has good results, but poor patient compliant. With Biorepeel, we want to promote the cure of the skin. So we want to have a good result, a deep result as well, but we want to take care of the skin in the long term. So this is a little bit the difference. I hope it was clear, because I study chemistry in Italian and it's not so easy to speak about chemistry in English, but I hope it was clear.
How much product do you apply with the needle in the melasma?
You mean the protocol with the body?
In the melasma treatment, how much?
Okay. As we saw before, if the melasma is extended in all the face, you usually do use the FND only, so the ordinary 2 ml on the face. You can use a combination with a microneedling, maybe not too deep, I don't know, 0.5, 0.75 millimeters. And then you need more application to achieve the result, so at least 4 or 5 applications. If you have a localized melasma, so it can happen because of pregnancy, because of drugs, because of many reasons, and you have a localized melasma in a specific point, you do a first passage of Biorepeel FND. Then you take a few drops with a syringe of the body formula, and you apply selectively on the spot. So the quantity is few drops as much as you need to go on the spot. It can be 1, it can be 2. Our advice is usually not doing it if the melasma is too big and too extended. If you have localized one, it's a perfect procedure, and we have pretty good result. Unfortunately, I don't have the presentation, but I can show you later on my mobile phone. I receive it very, very commonly, because it's particularly, it is working particularly well. So the only problem is when the melasma the melasma is from hormonal origin. In that case, Biorepeel remove it, but then it will come back. So for cloasma, we need a specific protocol, a specific treatment with other raw material. But on melasma, it works pretty well. cleansing of the skin. That can be a simple cleansing or a specific salicylic acid pre-peeling. And you show how to shake. You shake vigorously because it's not the buttocks that you need to take care of. Then we relate 2 ml. Yeah, usually the needle that we advise to use, it's 16 gauge, 18 gauge, the gray one, to understand, because the product is viscous, so if you use a tiny thin needle, you're not able to relate. Okay, we remove the needle and we're ready for the application. Okay, now we massage the glove. We usually recommend to use the glove. You can use other tools as well, but with your hands you will be able to massage strongly the face, so results are much better. And if you wear a glove, you won't have hand peeling. Massage usually take 2-3 minutes. We spread the product until it's completely absorbed, and you understand that the application is over when the glove gets sticky on the skin. So once the glove gets sticky, you start counting, usually 5 minutes. So someone keep it longer, but it's not necessary in my opinion, because being a product modulated, the buffering system of the skin are going to completely neutralize after 5 minutes. So the action is 5 minutes is usually more than enough. For the body, we recommend 10 minutes. Maybe show them the thickness of the. I don't know if you can see from the camera, but anyway, when you try it, you will understand immediately. When the glove, it's. And do you see that there is a drop pretty close to the eye? That's not a problem. So there is no ammonia, no irritative active principle inside. So many doctors apply on the eyelid, under the eye, and it's not a problem. If a drop go into the eye, just be ready with a face wash, and you're okay. So
There is a sticky.
can you ask her what is the sensation of the product on the face?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I told her.
Okay.
If she feels something, she won't.
Okay. And after the application, you will feel a smell of sulfur coming up. It's normal and it has to be there because the sulfur practice is, you know that skin cells are kept together by the sulfur bridges. So once you apply the product, you destroy these bridges and sulfur come up. So you feel the smell of eggs, which is not so blissful, but it's normal, and in fact it has to be there, so don't worry for that. And so now the product is applied, we wait 5 minutes and then we just remove with water.
You have 2 minutos 30 ya. Vamos a esperar los minutos para que no cruce.
Question?
Mi inglés no es bueno, pero
You can ask in Spanish. I understand, I can't speak Spanish, but if you speak slow, I understand.
este peeling tiene alguna zona peligrosa. Yo lo pongo porque yo trabajo con peelings convencionales, ácido cloracético, resorcina, ácido salicílico. Estuve una época haciendo fenol, pero con el doctor Daniel de Rossi, Patacholi. Pero he visto de que existen zonas que en la raza peruana se pigmenta más alrededor de la parte peribucal. Ahora, en su experiencia, usted, ¿este peeling es seguro aún en esa zona?
Yes, the perioral zone, especially here under the nose, tends to be more delicate, but not only here in Peru. I saw the same in Europe, I saw the same in Asia. So sometimes in very, very delicate skin you can have the beginning of frosting in this area, especially. But it's not a problem. So if you want to avoid strong exfoliation, as you see the appearance of small white spots, you just remove the product. Otherwise, you keep on for the 5 minutes because it's not going to spread all over. So usually you can have, as you said, in the in some more delicate area, but it remains as small spots and it doesn't widen. So in my opinion, it's safe to be used. I hope I replied your question and you understand.
Yo veo que la paciente no siente ningún dolor.
No,
Normalmente no hay dolor.
No, it's not pain, no, not for sure. She feel like someone say insect working on the skin. She feel slightly tingling sensation. So, but it's not pain. It's usually very, very tolerable in the normal condition of use. So if you use the face on the face and the body on the body. Then sometimes there are doctors that want to have a deeper result, and they apply the body on the face, for example. It's a possibility. And in that case, you will have a little bit of pain and frosting.
Y el riesgo de pigmentación postinflamatoria, ¿qué es frecuente en el Perú? ¿Cuánto hay?
I don't know about Peru because we recently started distribution, but generally I can tell you about our worldwide experience. If you have a good post-care treatment of the skin, so applying the SPF, you don't have the rebounding effect after the treatment.
En el Perú hay fototipos, la mayoría son entre 3 y 4,
Yeah.
5, nunca he hecho 6, mi maestro hacía 6 con el moreno,
Yeah.
pero hasta qué punto el riesgo de pigmentación postinflamatoria un tipo 4, que es el niño peruano, de altura.
I didn't understand. You want the percentage of it?
Fototipo.
No. Yeah, for the record, yeah, I understand. Yes, I understand. We distribute directly in the United States, and we have our offices in Florida. There are many South American there, people from Peru, from Mexico, from Colombia, and the product is safe, so I never receive a complaint of a strong rebounding effect. Of course, if you do the Biorepeel and the following day you go on holiday in Caracas and you stand in the sun without cream, you may have something, but if you protect your skin, you will be absolutely fine from that point of view. So no post-treatment inflammation, no post-treatment pigmentation. Regarding the inflammation, you may have a little bit of redness after the application because it's safe, but still it's a peeling. So you apply an acid. So you may have a little bit of redness after that, but usually disappear in 10 minutes, 1 hour. It's just momentary effect. So I never see people having a strong inflammation and be hard for 1 week. It's never happened in 4 years. But, and I hope it won't be the case here.
Thank you.
Bueno, un ligero escozor en el rostro nada más.
So after the product is open and the first time you shake the vials, usually you need to use it in 20-30 days. The important thing is to preserve correctly. So when I say that it's stable at room temperature, I mean the academic room temperature of 20 degrees. So please don't put in the sun, don't expose to 35 degrees, because sometimes the vial can explode in that condition. It contains one vial of body contains 85% of acid, so it really explodes. So if you preserve in the correct condition, after you open, you can use it within 20-30 days. And of course you can use the box until the expiry date, which is 3 years from the date of production. So, but it's very important to be preserved correctly. Even the position of the box, you see the vial inside, in this position, so it's pretty important to in vertical position. It's very important to maintain the box like that. Because sometimes people want to do marketing and they put like that, they put like that, they put like that, they put everywhere. But to guarantee the protection, the optimal protection, you see, you have a layer of lipophilic phase on, so it has to stay there. Because if you keep like that, protection is not working anymore. So you preserve 20 degrees, vertical position, and you will be fine. So now I'm finished with armpit application. An interesting protocol for the armpit, it's the one that I showed before. It's pretty common in Asia on 45, 3 and 4, and darkened armpits, and we have good results with 2-3 applications, 4 sometimes. The protocol is the same, so cleansing of the zone, and then in this case you apply Biorepeel body because we want to have a strong effect on the body skin. Armpits are considered sensitive areas, so we usually advise to avoid the needling protocol. So same as before, we shake it when the product on the screen, we relate. For the armpit, you need at least 1 ml each side, so 2 ml.
In your experience, after how many days you can do some lasers or phototherapy?
Phototherapy is very particular. So I mentioned the combination before, but usually Biorepeel is not combined with laser. It's combined with the LED mask. I don't know if you use it here, but in Europe are pretty common now. You have green light, blue light, so they combine with it in the same session, I think. With the laser, I would recommend to be a little bit more careful, because you know that after the peeling, the strong light is not usually recommended. If you have a good experience in that, you can do. Of course, you need to know what you are doing. Absolutely avoiding the ablative laser. So with a moderate power, you can treat together. You can combine together. But even the same session. If you modulate the treatment, you can do in the same session. Of course, you don't do Biorepeel with needling and ablative laser in the same session. It's too much. So, but if you do a moderate peeling and a moderate power of laser, you can combine together. But usually with the light, the main combination is with this LED mask. With hydrofacial, hydrofacial like jet peel, right? Yeah.
Not necessary, but beneficial.
Yeah, I never see the combination of that, but I know because we have distributors who distribute that technology, so I know that they combine both. They usually do Biorepeel first and then hydrofacial, not the contrary. And as far as I know, it's well tolerated and the results are cool, but I want to be honest, I never attended, so I never see with my eyes that procedure. But I know that they do, so we have no problem with that. Yeah. As you can see now, we hear what she has to say, but it's
Solo una picazón, una ligera picazón.
so as I was telling before, it's sorry, itch, a little bit of itching. So she's not dying. She doesn't have frost. So it's a 50% TCA and it's well tolerated. So maybe how many minutes do we have on the timer?
If she has to shave,
Yeah.
it's before.
If you have to shave, you do before the Biorepeel. Even immediately before, yes. You can do even after if you want, but of course after shaving you will have more richness in that case, and if you have any small cut, you may have frosting in that particular zone. So you can do it together, but we recommend Biorepeel first, then shaving. Yeah. And the same for the photodepilation. I don't know how to call it in Spanish. You understand? Yes, exactly. So maybe how many minutes do we have in time? Okay, you can remove. So we have to show everybody, but yeah, yes, you can remove. So for the removal, Mimi is using gauze soaked with water. You can go directly under tap water if you have. So water is enough. And after that, post-treatment cream to moisturize if it is necessary. Many times it is not. And sun cream, that's the only very important thing to do. So sun cream is pretty important. So the application is over. And as you can see, it's very simple to be done. And both of them, even with the application of such high percentage of TCA, are cleared out to keep doing their life. So don't have to stay home, don't have to worry about nothing. 100% safe, pretty quick, and good to be combined with many treatment. So I hope I give you some tips for your clients, and if you have any other questions, please. Otherwise, it's over. Yeah. No questions? Thanks everybody.